What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we are starting off by completing Mario Götze. Some interesting stuff to talk about with coins and how much I am not making currently. And the reason why I did Mario Götze is because I actually think it's a very, very good card. And in the spirit of trying to make FIFA fun, which we're going to get into, we're going to get into it. I want multiple options for my teams. You know, obviously we're going to be using a bit of a different team here this time around. And that Götze card is just good. You know, it's just good. It's got some good stats. He's a little slow on stam, but 4-star, medium is nice. His in-game stats are really cool. And for 120k start, and also obviously a couple of packs back, can't complain. I did it with a fair few untradables and such as well, so I think I probably spent somewhere around like 40,000 coins. I didn't really get much back from the packs, they weren't really great, but we've got a good Götze card. And off the back of that, I know a lot of people were saying like, oh, aren't you gutted now that you didn't do Player of the Month Royce? And I'm really not. Something interesting happened on Thursday when the servers went down. I've been making a lot of coins via my trading methods. As some of you guys know, I'm like, kind of like, I don't want to say exploiting because it's not the word, but I'm taking advantage of lazy buyers. You know, I'm buying items, whether it be players or consumables or anything. I'm buying items at their given price, listing them up for around 20 to 30% more, and just relying on people who can't be bothered to search for the cheapest players to go and buy my ones. So it's not like a great way of making millions. You know, I'm not like these investors and these snipers and these traders. It's just a steady influx of constant coins, but it requires a lot of time and attention. It requires me to make sure I've got, you know, my trade pile full up all the time, otherwise I'm missing out on coins in those trade pile spaces. It requires me to make sure I'm on the game once per hour to relist the items, and then also to refill the trade pile when certain items have sold. And I was making really good coins off of this for the last 3 weeks, and then on Thursday when the servers went down, out of nowhere, it's like every lazy buyer just stopped playing FIFA. And I've gone from making genuinely 30 to 60,000 coins a day minimum to barely even making 5 to 10,000 coins a day. Either that, or because I've talked about it a few times, I showed a few little examples on stream, it's very possible that it's been exposed to so many people now that this isn't really a relevant way to make coins anymore. And if that's the case, that's fine. I'll find a new way to make some new coins. But yeah, so people said, "Are you sad that you didn't do Royce?" And if I was still making 30 to 60,000 coins a day from just, you know, flipping cards, I'd be sitting here saying like, actually, yeah, I probably could have done that Royce. You know, I'd have earned those coins back in like 4 days, 5 days max. You know, no problem at all. But because I'm struggling to make coins right now, I'm happy I didn't do Royce. He wouldn't get into my team because Götze wouldn't necessarily get into my team. Although he's a good card, he's just a little bit expensive, you know, a little bit expensive. I also, as you're seeing here, I was going to do NepentheZ. I'd convinced myself to do NepentheZ. And the reason why is because, again, on Thursday, after rewards for rivals were given out, and champs as well, I started playing in FUT Rivals. I played 2 pro players just because I matched up against them on purpose, and then I played 5 FUT Rivals games, and I lost every game. And every single person had that goddamn Hazard, and he just destroyed me every time. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, this guy just has to be such a top-end player that I need him. And so I did the first part, well, the set. I've done 2 parts of NepentheZ now. Then I sat there and I thought, no, I don't want to dump like 600,000 coins into this card. I would rather hold those coins for either a different player of the month, maybe a La Liga player of the month, maybe the next Bundesliga player of the month, maybe FUTMUS or anything that might come on Black Friday. Like, I want to hold these coins just because I've got so many attackers already, as we well know. I don't need I don't need that card. So although, yeah, sure, it might cost me 1 win or 2 wins a weekend because I don't have Hazard, ultimately, I think it was the best choice for me. IG says, last week you mentioned that you had no content to create for your Road to Glory. I might have a solution for that. Maybe you could make those days a Dede the hashtag where you build a random, and I think it means like a, Dede day, so Dede the centre back, where you random fun squad around a centre back at striker, bringing the old banter back to life. And for those that don't know, there used to be this player in FIFA. I can't remember how far back. We're talking like FIFA 11, FIFA 12, and he was called Dede. And I don't know why, but I always called him Dede the centre back. And it wasn't like because there was a midfielder Dede and I was making sure you guys knew the difference. Like now when people say CR7 or Prime R9 talking about Ronaldo's, I just called him Dede the centre back, and it ended up getting memed. And now all of a sudden, Dede the centre back became a meme, and people used to say, "Why do you keep calling him Dede the centre back? We know he's a centre back." And so because of that, I started calling him Dede the centre back more and more and more, to the point where I actually did a video. I popped him up at striker. We played a game with him at striker, and we scored some banging goals with him, and it was fun. And I used to do a series called 100 and Out, where I would take random players, I would sometimes bronze players, silver players, and the aim of the series would be to just score 100 goals with that player. I'd also do series where I would use silver teams or bronze players. I even remember back in FIFA 16, maybe even FIFA 17, I used this bronze left back from Ipswich at the time called Kenlock, and we packed him. And the point of what I was doing was to prove to people that it was, I know it was around scripting, handicap and momentum, and it was talking about how stats influence the game and stuff. And what I wanted to show people was, doesn't matter what card you've got, if you're a quality player and understand the game mechanics, you can score with anyone. And so I got this left back Kenlock, and I started playing him up front, and I scored some bangers with him. I mean some bangers. I even got a bronze striker called Cameron Gill back from FIFA 17. He was a guy that used to watch my streams. So we went and bought him, and we played him in FUT Champs, we played him in like divisions, in daily knockout tournament, and we were able to score some absolutely sensational goals with this bronze guy that was terrible. And I loved that. I actually love sitting here thinking, like even just now, sitting here thinking, man, I'd love to build a team, even just the regular team that I've got now, and then just take one of the Arsenal bronzes, pop them in and play some games. The problem is now, is that there is absolutely no casual mode. And so if I'm going to take a bronze player or a couple of bronze players or a centre-back and put them at striker into Division 2, the people that I come up against aren't going to be like, oh, this guy's got a pretty fun team, let's just play a fun game here, see if we can score some banging goals. Oh no, they're going to go, oh, this guy's got a pretty fun team, let me abuse the hell out of him, get my 5 goals and my rank points. And so, although I would love to be able to do that, I would love to be able to go into games with teams, inferior teams, just for fun, it will have such detrimental impacts to the game itself for me that it actually wouldn't be fun. Because it's not like I could go in there, score some fun goals, get some wins, still contribute towards my rewards every week. Oh no, this would be a case where it's like, okay, I'm going to take this, try and play with him, come up against super teams with icons and stuff, trying to score goals with a bronze player. It's just going to be a genuine nightmare. So if EA can put a casual mode back into the game, happy days. Gru says, if I pre-prepare the Bundesliga SBC for 140k, will I break even after packs? I would say yes, dude. I think that's very smart if you've got the time and the resources to do that. I think that's very, very smart. Luke says, complaining about the game is good. It shows you actually want the game to improve and get better. If someone didn't care about the game, why would they talk about ways to improve it? I agree with you, but sometimes I get caught up in so much in my own world and my own mind that I don't look past some of the issues. It's so easy to see it from the outside looking in, when I watch other streamers and stuff play and they complain about certain aspects, no matter who it is or where it is, or when I watch YouTube videos of people playing and they're complaining about things, and I sit there and think, man, a lot of this is your fault. Like, when I play and complain, I never think it's my fault until I can actually look afterwards and say, okay, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. And in fact, I started reviewing one of my games from today, not from this set of games, but from the next set that you'll start seeing tomorrow. And immediately within 5 in-game minutes, I was looking at it thinking, man, I made just some terrible, terrible decisions there. Like, passing a ball down the wing to a guy that's marked by 2 players instead of passing it inside to a guy that was open, and then also had 2 more players to his left that were wide open. If I pass that ball inside, all of a sudden I've got a great counter-attack going down the left-hand side. Instead, because I'm so driven to the patterns that I abuse, I end up passing it down the right-hand side, got tackled, lost possession, got countered, and conceded a goal. And it all came from just a bad choice on my end. And what I look at there, when I conceded that goal, I'm frustrated because the player that I passed it to didn't control the ball. And I'm sitting there like, man, he should be controlling that ball. I shouldn't be losing the ball there. And although that's still the truth, he, like, you know, I passed the ball into Gareth Bale down the right hand side. He's a UCL version. He's got like 90 some odd ball control with the chem style that I've got on him. He shouldn't be miscontrolling a simple pass. But what I failed to accept was the fact that I didn't have to make that pass. I chose to make that pass. And so, you know, sometimes complaining about the right aspects of the game is good. And what this brings me to, again, is something that we've talked about before. And it's a situation of lack of transparency and information from EA in many ways, shape and form. In Fortnite, if you play a game of Fortnite, that game saves to Fortnite. You can go and watch that game back. You can see so much about it. In FIFA, you can't. Now, I want to, in so many games, review my game, watch back and see when that mistake was made. Was it my fault, in which case I can learn from it and improve? Or was it the game's fault, in which case I can take that to EA and say, hey, this is what happened when this is what should have happened. But because we don't have that opportunity, we can't do that, and it makes it difficult. On top of that, you know, in terms of like being able to watch your games back and such, it would just be nice. It would be nice to be able to like just watch them back and see where you've made mistakes, slow it down and speed it up. Even the Champions channel was terrible. You can't like click through the game. You can click through highlights, but you can't like click through the game or anything like that. And it's just a bit silly. Apologies if you can hear that. I think my kids have just had a bath, so I think it's just getting emptied out right now. So yeah, I would love to be able to see the replays of the game so that I could improve and I could help EA improve and just see generally where the issue is. The other thing in terms of, you know, lack of information and transparency from EA is, and we were kind of, I wish I could go and find the tweet. I can't remember who it was from or when it was or what kind of context it was in. But one of the EA guys said that there's going to be more transparency with regards to things like how stats work and such, things like that. We haven't seen any of that. I want to know what ball control means, but not only what ball control means, how it's impacted by composure, how it's impacted when one defender is standing near a guy or two defenders are standing near a guy. Like, I want to see these things. I want to know these things so that, again, I can adapt my team, my play, and my game to be the best that I can possibly be, because we can't be the best we can possibly be with so much clouded mystery, and it just creates a really, really negative atmosphere sometimes when playing this game. Jack Richards said, why not start De Bruyne? You said a few episodes ago, that he was your favourite player. Keep up the good work. I was just trying a new team this weekend, dude. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to, and it's not really a new team. It's 3 different players. But yeah, after packing that Suarez, I just wanted to get him in the team and stuff. And I'm still a bit top heavy in the team. Specifically, and this is where I actually get undone quite a lot in FUT Champs and in FUT Rivals. Not having a quality CDM and B, 2 quality or just 2 CDMs in general is really, really problematic. I can have all the greatest attackers in the world and 2 phenomenal centre-backs, an average goalkeeper, good full-backs, but without those CDMs being able to sit there and break up the play for me, it's when I come up against someone that's just good, I struggle a lot, because they're really able to abuse that area of the game. So I took De Bruyne out because I wanted to try some other players. We played 11 games with the team that I built in yesterday's episode, and I think I'm going to revert back or at least try something new for some other games. I'm in a good spot from this weekend league. You can see here, I think we're 6-0 or 7-0 at this stage. I'm in a good spot, even after today's video, we're 9-1, and the game that I lost, it was a joke. You'll see the goals, you'll judge for yourself, but this was one of those ones where even the harshest critic of YouTubers and people playing this game would still look at that game and be like, oh my god, dude, you just got robbed. That's how bad the game was. So I want to try something this weekend for the rest of the weekend and really remove the pressure to get wins and just change the team up or try some formations and just test some stuff. And hey, if it means I lose some games, then I lose some games, but maybe I'll find out something and find something new where I'm like, whoa, that could be really useful going forwards, so that's kind of the aim for the rest of this weekend league. Bar Black Sheep says, anyone else think the gameplay is awful after the patch? I generally enjoyed the game before, and now it's slow and the passing is terrible. Now, I've never ever seen, I genuinely mean ever, since FUT Champs came in FIFA 17, I have never ever seen so many people complain about the gameplay, the servers, the lagginess in all of my time as I have done this weekend. even to the point where me personally, I am getting micro freezes in every game. You guys don't see it because I'm only showing you the clips and the goals. Some of them are in the goals actually, and you might even not even realize it because you're watching it instead of playing it. And it might be a case where you might be like, oh, maybe YouTube buffered or something like that. But I'm getting micro freezes maybe 50 to 100 times a game, every game. It's little freeze, bang, plays on. Little freeze, bang, plays on. And it makes such a wild difference to how the game's played. So there's definitely something going on. You know, there's definitely something wrong this weekend. There's definitely something wrong with the game right now. Is it because of the patch? Maybe so. Is it because EA had some, and I mean not EA Sports or FIFA, I mean EA, the head company EA had some big like networking issues this week, you know, the last couple of days, to the point where there was 2 outages. One of them Thursday, which is what caused EA Sports to put back FUT Champs by 24 hours, and one of them very, very late last night, not the night, you know, the night before last, to the point where EA disabled matchmaking for like 5 hours. So to assume that everything's right in the game right now obviously is wrong, because there are huge issues in this game right now. But of course, we don't get any actual understanding as to what's gone wrong or why it's gone wrong. We just get told, hey, there's some issues, we're going to disable matchmaking. Hey, issues resolved, matchmaking resumed. And is that good enough? I don't think so. George says, Yo, Nep, I often hear you and others blame EA for the price of icons and the price of League SBCs. However, isn't it the community who dictates the price of these type of SBCs? Unless you want the actual requirements changed, I don't understand why it's EA's fault. Correct me if I'm wrong, all the best. So my perspective on this one, dude, is regarding supply and demand. EA supply the players. Forget League SBCs for a second, let's just talk about icons. When EA created an SBC that required an icon, nobody in their right mind is going to dump a prime icon or an icon of value or use into these SBCs, which means the supply of the icons that people are actually going to use in these SBCs is going to come down to unusable icons, undesirable icons, and cheap icons. And if there's not enough supply of these, it doesn't matter what the people of the game try and do or anything. If they're not coming out in packs quick enough, they're just going to keep going up and up and up in value, because every time one of them is dumped into an SBC, it's gone from the market. That's it. It's gone forever. It's not coming back until somebody packs something to replace it. So let's say, for argument's sake, there's 1,000 icons on the market. I know that this isn't the case. This is literally just for argument's sake to explain my perspective here. Let's say there's 1,000 icons on the market and 20 a day get released in packs. And again, I know that's not how packs work, but for argument's sake, there's 1,000 on the market, 20 a day get released in packs. So today, 20 get into the game, so we've got 1,020. But let's say 50 people a day complete the SBC. Now, that means by the end of today, we're down to 970. And by the end of tomorrow, we're down to 940. And by the end of the next day, we're down to 910. And we're going to be losing 30 icons a day, which means they're going to be so scarce and rare, which will increase the value of them because there's not enough demand to match the supply, and that causes super inflation, which is why even on PlayStation right now, the cheapest icon is almost 700,000 coins. And we are once again in a scenario, in a situation, this is the game that I lost, by the way. We're once again in a situation where, regardless of which icon set it is, whether it's Prime Icon Set 1 or Prime Icon Set 2, you can buy the tradable icons in most instances, other than I think Rio Ferdinand. You can buy the tradable icon for cheaper than you can complete the untradable icon set to get the untradable icon. And then of course, if you complete the untradable icon set, you get an untradable icon, you can't sell him. Okay, you get some packs, you could make some coins back. But if you buy the icon, you've now got a tradable one that you can sell after the fact and get the coins back. So EA could change the requirements, or they could just increase the drop weight of baby icons. That would solve many issues. If there is all of a sudden a higher increase in drop weight of these icons, even if to the point where they wanted to increase the drop rate of baby icons in untradable packs so that people couldn't even sell them, that would still go some way to allowing the market to stabilize. But I would prefer that, whether it's untradable or tradable packs, I would prefer that EA increase the drop weight of these packs, of these icons, to reduce the Prime Icon SBC, because the SBCs are supposed to give you value. And do you know what? If the SBC was there for the rest of the game and not just for 30 days at a time, I'd say, hey, do you know what? It doesn't even matter. There will become a time, you know, because they're there for so long, there will be a time where the icons will stabilize again. But because it's only there for 30 days, people are panic buying these icons to dump them in to get their favorite icons, and it's causing a massive imbalance in the icon market. League SBCs we could talk about somewhere, and maybe another video because we're at the end here. But there you go, guys. I don't know how I lost that game. This guy scored his first goal. I don't even know. His fourth goal, I had 2 defenders on the ball that should have got it. His middle goals, that goal, the goal he scored from the corner, I put in 6 tackles before he ended up getting that corner, and I couldn't score. I couldn't regain control of the ball. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I enjoy you guys in comment section, so look forward to more comments there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. I'm out. Peace.